Hey, Utah fans, Arizona State fans, if you're watching, and any other college football fans or people who stumbled onto this video, I appreciate you watching. And this video is all about our upcoming game with Arizona State, the Sun Devils, and it'll be down in hot Tempe, Arizona. So thankfully it's in the evening at 8:30, so hopefully it'll be a little cooler for our guys to play and hopefully dominate. But we'll talk about all that right after this.
For a first down.
Nice. That's the shot I'm talking about.
There it is. Over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. Devon Valet.
That's beautiful, man.
I get Carlson a touch on the block. Carlson from deep, and we're tied.
Got the win. This is a victory lap of sorts for the super senior.
Ginormous double layout.
All right, we're back, and let's talk a little bit about the upcoming game. But first, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it. I'm at 188 subscribers. I'm 12 away. 12. That's 1, 2, 12 from 200, which for me is a milestone. You know, I'm not a big channel at all. Hopefully someday I get maybe even to the 4 digits, over 1,000, but it'll probably be a few years before I do that. But at any rate, if it ever happens. At any rate, in the meantime, you and the guy behind you watching, you know, all you guys, you know, can subscribe and take out your phone if you're just watching on one source and look me up and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button while you're at it, because we're going to have a little fun today. We always try to have a little fun. That's what college football, college basketball, and college gymnastics and all the other college sports are about, right? So feel free to hit that subscribe button, get me up over 200, and let's get into this. So, and again, it's a two-way street, so I want to hear your thoughts on the upcoming game, and I want you to tell me what your score prediction is, because like we did last week, when Sean Davenport won, yeah, I'm calling you out, Sean, you won, congratulations. Message me on YouTube, and I will, you know, give me your information, like your email and whatnot, and I will get that $5 gift certificate for probably McDonald's to you, and hope you have something yummy. Now, for this game, I think a lot of people don't know quite how it's going to play out with Arizona State, and the reason why I say that is, one, they're 1-2. They lost to Oklahoma State, who's ranked ahead of us. They were ranked, I think they were ranked 11th when they played, and I think Oklahoma State might be top 10 now. And they lost to Eastern Michigan, who is not ranked, and that was at home. And they lost to Eastern Michigan, who's not a Power 5 team. Eastern Michigan, however, outgained the Sun Devils 458 yards to 352. So pretty good disparity right there. I do want to point out a few things, though. You have a rather decent-sized athletic quarterback for ASU. His name's Emory Jones, and not necessarily a prolific passer, but he's a good athlete, and so you got to be aware of the possibility for him to run. And you know, the one really good team he played against, Oklahoma State, he had a 50% completion percentage. So I think if we could hold him to that or below, we'll be okay. We also have to keep him in check so that he's not running all the time. The common thread for the offense that I could see, even though I haven't watched any games, but just by looking at some stats, is a guy named Valladay, who's their leading rusher. He's rushed for over 100 yards in each of the games. He had, what did he have, 127 yards on 16 carries against Eastern Michigan. he had 118 yards on 21 carries. That's 5.62 yards a carry against Oklahoma State. So that's very respectable. And again, he had a rather high yards per carry against Northern Arizona, who's not all that great, so big deal. So he's got a 352 yards, I think it's something along those lines, on like 52 carries. So the guy can run. So like we did against San Diego State, where we held them to just, 113 yards, I think it was, on the ground, and they were averaging 270 something or 280 something like that. If we can hold this Valladay character in, and I say that jokingly, so don't get offended, anybody. If we can hold him to under 100 yards and preferably, 40, 50, 60 yards, that would be great. And I think that certainly ups our chances of winning. I really like our chances of winning anyway. There's a few things Utah has to correct, and they've been working on it in practice this week. It'll be interesting to see if they get it corrected. They said they were going to do some new things in practices, change it up a little bit to try to get them to where their offense comes out and scores on the first drive, like we did several times last year. It doesn't take a quarter and a half almost to get going and to get our first touchdown. So if we can do that, if we can come out strong and score early and often, that's going to put them behind the 8 ball. Now, the one thing they have going for them is Herm Edwards was fired this week. Now, I don't think Herm ran a very good ship. There's a lot of allegations going on about recruiting practices and whatnot, especially during COVID. And I think there's some other things along various lines that they're being looked at for. But so the running backs coach is the new interim head coach, and anytime there's something like that in a program, what we see a lot of times is some very inspired play by the team as they rally around their new coach, trying to give him support and play with a little extra emotion. We saw that a little bit in the Nebraska game after Coach Scott Frost was fired. That lasted for a drive or two, and then they got blown out. So hopefully we don't even let that go for a drive. Hopefully we can start off strong on both sides of the ball. Coach thinks that we're going to get back Mohamed Diabate at linebacker and Clark Phillips at of course, cornerback. So hopefully we're pretty healthy, other than, of course, Chris Curry, who's out for the season with an ankle injury. Hope they expect him to return 100% healthy next season, and I hope that happens for him. I hope he has a quick recovery and still plays a big role on the team this year, just from a moral support kind of perspective, and maybe lending some of what he sees to the running backs who are in there playing while he's out on the sideline watching and recovering. And I hope it's a quick one for him. But that said, looks like our running back depth chart is going to be Tavion Thomas, number 1, Mekhi Bernard, number 2, which he already was, and moving up to number 3 is going to be Jalen Glover. It'll be interesting to see how many carries and what kind of utilization he gets. I'm hoping that he gets some opportunities to catch some balls out of the backfield, and looking forward to some great runs from him. He's shifty, he's fast, he's strong. And I'd love to see him break a couple of long ones. That'd be exciting to watch. So I think between that, we'll see if it's going to be a theme that our receivers continue to get some separation and continue to win those 50-50 battles when Cam goes their way and they're fairly well covered. And so hopefully we'll see a lot more throws to our receivers like we did last game. I was very excited about that progress that seemed to be made, but let's hope it's not a one-game thing. Let's hope that we see a lot more of that, because that plus the tight ends opens up the whole game for the running back, as running backs as well as for each other. Because if all you got is the tight ends and the running backs, they can key a little bit more on that. And you know, if the receivers aren't helping, then our offense can stagnate a little bit. So there's that. So we're going to see if that happens. Then, considering the fact that this is an athletic quarterback who's pretty good, that you know, pretty big and whatnot, that we're playing against, and they've got a good running back, I think this will be another test a level up from San Diego State relative to if we've solved our tackling issues. I'm still not 100% confident that we have, so I think this game will push me a little further along if we're along the confidence path, if we're able to wrap up, tackle, make a lot of TFLs, and hold them to a much lower number than what, like I say, Valladay has been getting. He's averaging somewhere, probably just off the top of my head, a little quick math, close to 120 yards a game. So we can hold them to half that or less. That would be fantastic. So, and we got special teams that we have to, I won't say worry about, but you know, we did have that one fumble on the punt reception last game. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully we win the special teams battle, and hopefully Coach Whittingham made a comment about our punter. He said, you know, in practice, he's got a big leg and he's punting it very far, but it hasn't translated into games yet. So hopefully, whatever the reason for the less than practice performance in the game, hopefully that the practice does start to translate into game results. So we'll see about that. Other than that, I expect that we'll be 3-1 after this game. It may be close for a little while, but I honestly, I'll be disappointed if you know. So they lost. Arizona State lost to then number 11 Oklahoma State 34-17, and Oklahoma State didn't pull away till into the fourth quarter. So I will be a little disappointed if we don't pull away sooner, and more than that. I expect a minimum of 38 points. I really think there's no reason why we shouldn't get in the 40s. And I expect that we hold them less than 17 points. Hopefully only one touchdown or less, maybe a field goal or two. So for my guess, my score, I'm going to say 38-10. I was debating on 10 or 13, just so you know, so that if it ends up being 38-13, and I'll be like, dang, I even said that. So 38-10 is my guess. Let me know what yours is down in the comments section. And we'll do the same thing this week. I think I'm going to make that a weekly thing. We'll do a $5 gift certificate, probably to McDonald's every week. Unless you guys all have a whole bunch of comments saying, no, do something else. Don't do McDonald's. Then we might look at something else. Maybe Chick-fil-A or something. But at any rate, let me know what your score prediction is down in the comment box and the comment section. And also, share some, get a little more detailed. Share some thoughts on how you think our defense is going to do, how you think our offense is going to do, who's going to step up, who's going to be the key player, the most improved player, most valuable player of this game on the offense and on the defense, in your opinion, and tell me why. And man, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I think obviously Jalen Glover is going to play an increased role, but I think the receivers are going to maybe not have as good of a game as last time, but I think they're going to still be a solid part of the offense this week, and it'll take a while for them to continue to grow in their role. I think Tavion is going to have a bounce back week, and I think Cam is also going to have a bounce back week. He didn't do bad, but he was 18 for 30, which is only 60%. That's below his typical passing average. So I'm going to say Cam is going to be closer to 70 or maybe even higher. And I'm going to say that Tavion is going to emerge a little bit more this week. He's kind of been a little inconsistent so far this year. Last week he had a bit of an excuse because his aunt passed away. His aunt basically raised him. And the other thing I think that'll happen is, big surprise, Brant Keithy and Dalton Kincaid will do Brant Keithy and Dalton Kincaid things. But do you think Dalton Kincaid's going to hurdle another dude? Let me know. Bonus points. You get, if you guess whether or not Dalton Kincaid is going to hurdle and whether Brant Keithy will get a touchdown. That's a pretty easy guess because he probably will. If you can guess those two things right, then you get 1 touchdown worth of points toward your score guess for the $5 gift certificate. So there you go. Let me know down there, and it'll be game time, 8:30 Mountain Daylight Time. Cheer those Utes on loud and proud so they can hear you from up here in Salt Lake or wherever you're watching. And in the meantime, go Utes.